Traveling on back-to-back cruises to Alaska aboard the Royal Princess, we had 2 occasions to disembark in Seattle. Our first 4-day cruise arrived there directly from Ketchikan. As continuing passengers, we simply left our packed luggage in our cabin for it to be moved to our next cabin. And since we had reasons to go to shore, we were given what would be magic tickets. The in-transit guest pass would be important for reboarding. Our main reason for disembarking in Seattle was to scope out the port for next week's final arrival. How would we get to the nearby bus stop? It turned out that our pier was located more than 3 miles out of downtown, not where we had expected to dock. While the bus to downtown was still an option, the trip would be much longer, and more importantly, the walk to the bus stop was going to be significantly longer. So we walked, and walked, and walked, and walked a little more before reaching the bus stop. This was going to be a challenge with all of our luggage. And what if it was raining? We had some rethinking to do. But we had a week to work that out. So we returned to the ship with our in-transit guest ticket, which allowed us to skip almost all of the embarkation lines, which had grown very long. With the completion of this shorter cruise, we had earned the 3rd and 4th cruise credit on Princess, so a change medallion color was in order. Leaving Ketchikan a week later, we would be making our way not to Seattle directly, but to Victoria, British Columbia. Why? The Jones Act, which requires foreign flag ships to dock at a foreign port before returning to a U.S. port. While Victoria was listed on the itinerary, and there were even excursions available, we would not be arriving until 9:30 p.m., so this was essentially a day at sea. While we didn't see any whales in this leg, we did spot a different marine animal as we made the turn toward Victoria. We had several hours after dinner before our scheduled arrival. And the ship arrived on time, but we would be leaving at 11:30. Needless to say, we did not disembark at Victoria. But what about our transit to the airport in Seattle? Should we take the bus with all of our luggage? Well, that problem was solved for us. We received an offer to use a service called Port Valet. As a free service offered by the Port of Seattle, Port Valet allows our bags to be taken from the ship, checked into the airlines, our boarding pass issued, and the only cost would be whatever the airline charged, which would then appear on our ship account. We would claim our luggage at our flight's destination. This seemed too good to be true, but it checked out, so we were in. On disembarkation day, we were a little confused about which group was ours to leave the ship. But without any luggage to claim ashore, we just disembarked with the walk-off group around 7 a.m. We had an easy walk to the bus stop, and it being a Saturday, the bus to downtown was not crowded at all. After a pit stop at the Amtrak station, we crossed the tracks to take a link train to the airport from the International District station. And with our Orca card, the whole trip just cost $1. Arriving at the airport on the Saturday of Memorial Day weekend was a bit busy, to say the least. The TSA line wrapped on itself 3 or 4 times. Luckily, it moved fast though. We made it through to the gate and had a couple of hours before our flight would leave. What about our luggage though? Was it going to fly with us? Our trackers confirmed that it did make it to the airport, so maybe so. After a brief delay, our flight boarded and we were ready to take off. Our seats had been chosen as part of the Port Valet check-in, but the only odd thing was that our row had no window, so I had to sneak the camera forward to take this shot. We arrived only half-hour late to Kansas City, and our luggage was there to greet us. It had been about 12 hours from the time we woke up on the ship until we were setting our bags down in our hotel room. We had enjoyed 11 days of Alaska cruising with a lot of memories tucked away. The unexpected second cruise to Alaska was a gift of extraordinary scenery, lovely weather, and relaxation. And it had earned us one more level up in the captain's circle. We were now platinum. Now that we were back on land and a couple of time zones east, we would have a couple of days to explore Kansas City before boarding another train to go even further east.